Hello, so we are going to get started with the V5 VEX robot, and we're coding in VEX Code Pro, and we're going to use the CS2N curriculum, and I'm going to make this video just to help you get started with that. So this is your robot brain. Your setup is the brain is connected with a kind of a phone cord, a mini cord with a USB to the computer. So this goes to the computer. We have the battery connected here. So and for for the brain commands, where we're just going to be looking at what happens on the face or the screen of the brain. This is all we need. We just need to power it up, and we need to connect it to our computer. Later on, you're going to work a lot with your motors and sensors, and they will be plugged into these ports along the side here. Okay, so let's just get started. Oh, by the way, one thing for beginners, you might get confused. If there's something on the screen and it looks like you're supposed to push something, and you can't, like, wow, it just won't work. This comes off. And so this screen is interactive once that is off. So that's why they keep it there, though, to keep it from getting damaged. So let's check this out. One of the cool things is, like I said, that this screen is very interactive. Let's type in, these are called, it's brain shapes in the CS2N curriculum. So to start doing the brain shapes, I'm going to type in brain. One nice thing is, as soon as I type a letter, you see here, it gives me it sort of self-populates, and I don't have to type the rest of that, which can be good to not type. Not only because it saves you time, it keeps you from making typos, which can create a lot of confusion. You won't know what's wrong with your program. So I just hit B, and now I'm going to hit enter, and it finished it for me. And now in this particular program, I put a dot, a period, and the three possible types of commands for the brain are something with the battery. I think that can tell us the battery life if we write a program like that. Screen or timer. We're going to look at screen. So if I type an S, there it's self-populating screen. I hit enter, it fills that in for me. I'm going to hit another dot. When I hit dot, these are all the things I can do with brain.screen. Clear line, clear screen, column, blah, 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 blah. In this case, we're going to pick rectangle. I clicked on it and it chose it. I could have arrowed down. Let's try that again just so it's clear. As soon as I put this D, I hit the period. These are all my options. I'm going to arrow down this time. And there's draw a rectangle right in the middle. I'm going to hit enter or click on it either way. And there's draw a rectangle. Now this is important. Once I hit draw a rectangle, it's telling us, it gives us the possible parameters, although it actually leaves one out. The X, the Y, the width, and the height. Well, width and height are obvious. How wide is the rectangle? How high is the rectangle? That's going to say how big the whole thing is. X and Y are something you're going to have to get a little more familiar with. This is how far it's the horizontal parameter of the rectangle. In other words, I think 0 is as far left on the screen as you can go, and maybe 300, we can play around with that, is this far right. I believe Y is all the way at the top, and maybe, again, 250 may be the bottom, but we can play around with that. But, so draw a rectangle, and I'm going to hit enter, and open parentheses, and let's just put an X. These are going to be numbers. So let's try 25, 50, and how big do we want to make this this rectangle? Let's make it pretty big. Let's try 100 and 150. And I'm going to make this quicker just there's one other thing we can do. We can tell it a color. And so let's try red. And don't forget that you always need, most of the time, you need a semicolon at the end. So there's brain screen, draw rectangle, and this is how far to the right or left it is, and that's going to be pretty close to the left-hand side. This is how close to the top it is, so not that far down. It's going to be kind of close to the top. This is how tall it is, or I'm sorry, how wide it is. This is how high it is. I think that was what it was. So let's, now, to run your program, this is called download, and this is your run. So first, I need to download the program. That sends the program from your computer to your brain. Once it's in the brain, and it said building success, I can run the program. I'm going to hold this up closer. It's not going to be perfect, but I'll run it, and boom, it made a rectangle. You can't see it well in the picture, but it is red. And let's see. So look, I don't know if you can see. Yep, it's a little taller than it is wide. So this was the height, and this was the width. Let's do one more of these. Let's make a brain. Enter. Dot. Whoops. Dot. Screen. Dot. What are all my options? Here they go. Let's choose draw circle. And look, it's going to say X, Y, and radius. So this is how far to the right or left. A bigger number is going to make it farther to the right. This is Y is how far up and down. A bigger number is going to push it further towards the bottom. Radius is how big. So pretty simple. So let's make it 25 and 50 were, you know, kind of to the left and kind of, I guess, in the middle. So let's try a little further out. Try 50. And let's try a little further down, 75. And now this is just the radius. This is how big. Let's make it small. Let's say that was 150. I'm going to make this 30. And what about a color? Let's see if they have blue. Whoops. And that's all I need to do. The X, how far to the left or right. The Y, how far up and down. And how big, the 30. This is draw circle. Now up here, download. And then wait till it finishes. And then this makes it run. And let's see if the glare's not the best here. And notice right there's the little circle. Let me take this off, maybe see a little better. There you go. Yeah, and you can see the colors. All right, let's do one more thing. I'm going to copy and paste something that I got. VEX task, sleep 2000. Sleep makes things continue on for a while. So I'm just going to Control C and Control V that and paste that up there. What that's going to do is say it's going to make this rectangle, it's going to make this circle, and then it's going to wait a while before moving on and doing the next thing. I didn't say this yet, but these programs work sort of linear. They do the things at the top first, and then they come down here. 17 int main is just telling it it's the main program. Init just initializes and sort of gets the robot ready, and then it does these things in order. Makes the rectangle, makes the circle, and then it waits. You'll see this as happening instantaneously, even though it's reading it one then the other. So now it's going to wait 2 seconds before it does the next thing. And I just want to show you this. Here's another brain option. Hit brain, see BR. I'm going to hit enter to finish. Period. Screen. So S screen. And then dot. Clear screen. These are all things you could do that you can play around with. By the way, pressing would allow you to push on, physically push on the screen and make something happen. You could press the screen and make a motor go. You could press the screen and make the motor stop. You could press the screen and make the motor speed up. You know, it's interactive like that. It can tell when you're touching, and you can use that to actually run programs. But I just want to clear the screen. And to clear the whole screen, I'm going to say open, close parentheses, just like that. Don't forget your semicolon. And let's see what happens. This said draw the rectangle. This said draw the circle. This said wait a while. And this said clear the whole thing. So let's, you can see that now. I'm going to go up. I'm going to download this new program. And then it's building it. And now I'm going to run the program. And there's my figures, and then they disappeared. That was clear screen. So that's just a little bit of an introduction to making shapes on the V5, a good way to start out your VEX Code Pro experience.